Hello, welcome back to the Creative Spark. It has been a hot minute. Sadly, life just got too busy and intense, and a lot of changes have happened in the last 2 months. But I did not stop on my challenge of my 52 movies in 52 weeks. I did fall behind, and I have done a massive catch up over the last few weeks. But we are back on track, and I am now only behind by one movie, and that is this week's movie. So, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to catch up on. So much to catch up on. But we're going to dive in first because it's Halloween weekend. We're diving in. Well, I guess, is next week Halloween weekend? That came out really high. Is next week Halloween weekend because Friday is the 31st. Either way, I'm going to a Halloween shindig tomorrow. So, we're going to call it what it is. It's Halloween week. It's Halloween week. And I was determined as part of this 52 movies in 52 weeks challenge that I would watch some horror thriller movies. Really not my thing. My version of Halloween movies, Hocus Pocus, Practical Magic, Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm talking G-rated, G-rated, fun kids Halloween films. Nightmare Before Christmas, which, yes, is a Halloween movie. It's a November 1st movie, people. It's not a Christmas movie. I'll go to the mat on that one. But, yeah, I figured I'm going to watch some iconic, horror-themed films. Cat hair through my house. But, yeah, I've watched a good variety. I've watched 3 films that we're going to talk about. Actually, 4. No, I'm going to keep Sinners for its own film because technically I watched that months ago on my list and then never filmed a video about it. But that movie was amazing and needs its own film. Needs its own film, needs its own video. So we're going to talk about the 3 specific Halloween spooky season movies that I just watched. That all technically fall into the horror category, whether that is horror comedy, a little bit camp, the old 80s vibes, or newer things that have been nominated for Academy Awards. The 3 that I have watched are Death Becomes Her, 80s. Oh, actually, sorry, 1992. Get Out, which is a Oscar-winning horror film, and Scream. Now, that one was a random one that came up. I just felt like I wanted to watch another scary film, and I just was looking through options of what are classic horror films that aren't scary. I can't do it. Everyone goes through that phase in high school, in year 7 or 8, where you have sleepovers and everyone wants to watch the horror films. I'm talking The Ring, Friday the 13th, The Conjuring. Oh, wait, it's Conjuring now? I can't remember. But there was a party where we watched Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2. And when I tell you, I have never recovered. I will never not be terrified of a scarecrow. I had nightmares all through high school. About that damn scarecrow. No, just no. I can't do them even as an adult. The furthest I'll go is I love Stranger Things. Because that is scary, but it has heart. And yeah, I'm so excited for season 1. I might be more excited than about Wicked for Good. It's neck and neck, and they're a week apart, and I will not survive. However, that's not the point. We're going off topic. However, I decided on Scream, which I actually enjoyed. I was surprised, but it really had that iconic, 90s, I guess, horror fantasy vibe. It gave me Buffy and Charmed kind of energy. I guess very similar casts, but that is the energy it gave me, and I think I actually might be committed to watching the rest of them. We will see. So, we're talking about Scream. Let's start with Scream. So, Scream was made, for people who don't know, in 1996. It is a Wes Craven slasher horror film, and it is set in a small town where uh, teenagers start getting randomly massacred. And what ends up happening, I'm going to try not to spoil it, but basically they're being hunted down by the ghost faced people in the ghost face mask. It's iconic for a reason. People, you see it all over the place. And it is a villain who is obsessed with old horror movies. So what's really clever about it, and everyone who knows about the horror genre knows all of this information. I'm new to it. Let me talk about it. What I really enjoyed about it, even though I hadn't seen a lot of those films, is it just constantly was referencing back to other horror films. So it was based off like referring back to what happens in horror films, and this villain is obsessed with them and recreating those scenarios basically, and recreating that level of fear in their victims. So, I mean, it's got a killer cast. It's a Wes Craven film. I just found out the screenplay was written by Kevin Williamson, who was also a writer on Dawson's Creek and The Vampire Diaries. I'm like, ah, I love those shows. So, not surprised I actually liked it. I feel like I now need to, if I watch through the Scream films, I also need to watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, because Buffy. So, and I know there's like a sequel of that coming out at the moment. However, I will say, just referencing my notes, yeah, the cast is just phenomenal. The cast is iconic. You've got Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, David Arquette. David Arquette and Courtney Cox met on the Scream films and ended up married. And then you've got David Lillard, Rose McGowan. This was like a good couple of years before Charmed. And then Skeet Ulrich, can say his name probably, who is very hot in that film. He's got the very classic 90s like floppy hair thing going on. And I'm like, why are you hot? You're really creepy. Like, he's creepy. I'm like, he's supposed to be the love interest, but he's very scary. I'm like, you are, I'm like, why are you hot? You're not hot. Like, you just look attractive. But as a person, no, terrifying. But from what I've been told, there's also like all sorts of lore as you keep going through all the films. I'm assuming that's a little bit like Final Destination. I quite like the Final Destination films. I've seen 1, 2, and 3. Again, 3 gave me scared me so much. That song in that film, There Is Someone Walking Behind You, not nightmares, but just trying to go to sleep after that was difficult. I can't shut my brain off, so it's not easy to watch a horror film because it just thinks about it and repetitively thinks about it, and bad, just bad. But I do quite like the Final Destination films. I am scarred by them, like every other millennial, after watching the second one where the logs come off the truck and now we don't drive behind those trucks. Ever. We change lanes. I do that. Also, like, it opens with Drew Barrymore this is well known, she gets killed in the first scene. She is the blonde girl that gets killed off in the first scene, and she's Drew Barrymore. Like, I do think this was a little bit around her, like, just before her, like, comeback. It was before Ever After, which is sort of when she kind of started coming back into herself. So, I guess it was kind of around that time, but still. You're just like, how is Drew Barrymore? It's Drew Barrymore. And she just gets in the first scene. It's kind of epic. It is kind of epic. I am surprised. I enjoyed Scream. I think because it's a slasher film, but it's not scary necessarily. Like, it has the jump factor, but it has more of that, you're screaming at the TV being like, don't go up the stairs, don't go through the door, all those things. It's not like things jumping out at you, terrifying stuff. Like it's not like watching Get Out. So while I just segue across to that, Scream. I enjoyed Scream. I'm probably going to watch the rest of them. Who's more surprised than me? Anyway, segueing. Let's talk about Get Out. Get Out was a movie made in 2017. It is, I'm going to read from my notes, guys. It is Jordan Peele's directorial debut, and it was nominated for Best Screenplay, Director, Picture, and Actor, and it did win for Best Screenplay. It has, okay, now I'm going to try not to butcher his last name. The lead role is Daniel Kaluuya? Kaluuya? I'm sorry. There's got Alison Williams and Bradley Whitford and a bunch of other famous actors in it. But look, it's going to be very hard not to spoil this one. Everyone, if you don't want spoilers, I would move away, because to talk about it, I need to talk about the twist. So this one, I would say jump across to Death Becomes Her if you don't want to know the twist of this film. I knew the twist of this film going in. I also knew the twist of Scream going in, which I think may be the key to me watching horror films, because I know what's going to happen. Like, I need to know what happens so my brain doesn't overthink it, potentially. Yes. But Get Out, the story of Get Out is Chris is a black man who goes home with his Caucasian girlfriend, with his white girlfriend, to meet their family for the weekend. And he is obviously, like, bring up concerns, being like, you sure your parents are okay? Do they know I'm black? Like, all sorts of stuff. But as the weekend goes on, it gets more and more creepy, because as he gets there, they have two black servants in their they call them servants, in their employ, who have a real Stepford thing going on. Like, they're dead behind the eyes. There's nothing happening. Well, actually, it's probably not true. It's not that they're dead behind the eyes. It's like their face is a Stepford, but their eyes are like screaming behind them. Like, they can see, and everything is kind of not right, and things keep coming out of the woodwork, and it gets weirder and weirder, and you just get this like chill down your spine through the whole film. The mother is a psychiatrist, and at one point catches him trying to smoke, and she hypnotizes him without his permission. And she does this thing where she says, you're gonna sink into the floor. And he ends up in this void, which is a really cool directional choice, by the way. He ends up in this void looking up like he's swimming in a pool. And there's like a screen, which looks like a screen like through his eyes. And he can see what's happening like through on the TV, but he's in the void and he can't move his body, he can't talk. So he's been hypnotized to be what's the word I'm thinking of? Immobile? That's not, what is the word I'm thinking of? Someone type it in the comments for me. You know what I mean. Paralyzed. He's paralyzed. There we go. And as it all comes out, he's attending this party, and another black man is in attendance with an older white woman. And he's also got this Stepford thing going on. And they're introducing, like, these parents are introducing him all to these different groups of people, and they're all kind of sizing him up. And you're just getting a bad vibe. You're getting a bad vibe. And as it turns out, this family is selling black people. Not kidding. Selling black people to, they're auctioning them off, basically, to do this procedure where they swap your brain into their body. Like, they swap the white person's brain into a black person's body. And they've all got their different reasons for why they're doing it. But it is so creepy. And as it turns out, the girlfriend Alison Williams did a brilliant job in this film. All the acting in this film, the direction, I see why it was nominated for so much stuff. It was so well done. I was invested. Like, I didn't want to be invested. I was like, this is so disturbing. It's so disturbing because obviously there are genuinely some terrifying people in the world who would pull this sort of stuff. And we're currently in the political, it's not even a political climate, in the human crisis we're living through right now. This shit is coming out more and more that it's still there, and it's terrifying. So even watching this film, I was like, this is obviously like a super heightened level of it, but it doesn't feel like that heightened right now. It was scary and ick, but like the film is so well done. The film was so well done, and yeah, as it turns out, I skipped over this. It turns out the daughter is basically the bait. She goes out and she makes a black man or woman, as it turns out, befriends them, becomes their girlfriend, makes them fall in love with them, and then brings them home and is the bait that like lures them in. And she's so creepy by the end of it. There's a bit at the end where she's sitting and she's got all of the victims, basically, photos with them, like framed on her wall. Shivers down the spine. No. Look, would I ever watch it again? Maybe. I reckon I'd still give it 4 stars. Like, it was so good. The only reason I wouldn't give it 5 stars is I probably wouldn't choose to watch it again, and that is because I don't do horror well. But if I had someone who wanted to watch it and they were like, and hadn't seen it, I would watch it with them. I wouldn't be against rewatching it. It hits a nerve. But excellent movie. Now, I'm running out of time here. I have somewhere I need to be. So, let's quickly wrap this up. We're going to talk about Death Becomes Her. Death Becomes Her is from 1992. It is Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, Bruce Willis. It is iconic, and this trio of them works so well. And it is like a horror comedy style film. Basically, it is these 2 women who have known each other since college. They're supposed to be best friends, but just have this huge rivalry with each other. One of them is a super narcissistic actress, that's Meryl Streep, obsessed with beauty and youth, and wanting to be like the biggest star and have everything. And then you've got Goldie Hawn's character, who is a bit more reserved. She is more of an academic, but she just they want to beat each other. They want to be each other. They want to beat each other, and they're just determined to like have this rivalry between the 2 of them. And then, of course, once Bruce Willis comes into the scene, he is originally engaged to Goldie Hawn's character, but has this like celebrity crush on Meryl Streep's character, and ends up marrying her instead, which is obviously awkward. And it spans from the start. There's a 14-year time jump across the film. So it starts in one place, they do 7 years, and they do 7 years. And as much as I enjoyed this film, like, it was cheeky and it was like funny because Goldie Hawn is hilarious in general. She's so funny and she makes the best faces. But Meryl Streep is like great in every single genre. Like, she is the actress, the defining actress of our time. She can do everything. We love her. And I will say, as much as I enjoyed it, and then you've got also like the outfits are fantastic. The whole thing was great. And the reason I watched it was because the Broadway musical came out this year. And I will say, from what I've seen of the musical, I haven't seen it because I'm not in America. I really, truly hope it comes here. But I would want it with the Broadway cast. We're not obviously going to get that. But we have phenomenal talent here. What am I talking about? However, I wish that it would come here. But from everything I've seen, because they were allowing people to film and put so much of it online, I think I prefer the musical. Like, it's so camp. The film is just so camp that it was born to be a musical. It was born to be on stage with like glitter and sparkles and singing and like honestly the stagecraft of the film, the musical that I've seen, like how they make her fall down the stairs and how they create the hole in their stomach, like how they do that is actually just crazy. Like how they do that without like the special effects that they have for on stage for that film. That see, I keep crossing it over. For that stage show is wild. And I mean, I love Megan Hilty. She is one of my icons. I love her dearly. Or her performances. I do not know her. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would watch Death Becomes Her again, like around Halloween. It's a good time. It is a good time. It fits right in my Halloween wheelhouse. Not too scary, a bit fun. Oh, there goes the pumpkins. Not too scary, a little fun, a little quirky, but a little bit, creepy. And yeah, I think I would firmly put that on my Halloween list. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Honestly, I don't have that much to say about it. I just enjoyed it. And realistically, that's what you want from these films. So, yeah, they were my 3 new horror Halloween films that I watched. And I think I was very happy with all 3. I enjoyed all of them. And I'm so happy to be back and talking about these and filming these. I have so many movies to catch you up on. So many. This is only 3. We're behind by like 10, I'm pretty sure. We're a good at least 8 weeks that I've been off since I posted my last video. So yeah, I reckon we've got at least 10 movies to talk about. So that's about it for today. I do need to head off to dinner. This has been a perfect day to film this Halloween for me. It's like grey and miserable. It is spring here, so it's hard to get these cozy vibes, but hit the perfect time for it, which is great. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can get notification. I just kicked my camera, so the angle may be slightly off now. Oops. I need to wrap this up. If you enjoyed this video or you want to continue to follow along on my journey with my 52 movies in 52 weeks, we will have a lot more movies leading up to the end of the year. We've only got 10 weeks left. 10 weeks. But we also have 10 weeks of previous movies to talk about. So we've still got like 20 films to talk about. Plenty of time and plenty of videos before the end of the year. So if you're enjoying the journey, please make sure to subscribe so that you can see when I post new videos. Hit the little bell icon if you want to get notified about them, and give it a thumbs up and a comment down below if you enjoyed them. If you have any other suggestions of mild level horror films that I should put on my list or I should watch, I am making a list for when I finish my 52 movies in 52 weeks. So as we go into 2026, I think I want to continue on my movie journey, but it will be a less kind of strict about how I do it. But I obviously want to watch more of the Scream films now. I want to watch more of Quentin Tarantino. There's plenty of other things that I want to watch and continue. So if you have any suggestions of any further, yes, mild, continue, that's the word, mild horror films that you think I should put on my list, please comment them below. And I'm going to see you next time. I will be back very soon. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to see you next time. Bye.